Hi guys, and welcome to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. My name is Brit. I am the creator and host of the show, and on this last bonus episode with June with Fathers, we have Rayshawn, aka the Hookah King, aka the Grill Master, aka the Chef Curry, whatever he is calling himself these days. I hope you guys enjoy the episode. It's pretty much us just talking about maintaining relationships, especially when it comes with co-parenting, our beliefs when it comes with being respectful, with having friends outside of your relationship with your partner, and more. So please make sure you comment, subscribe to any of the platforms you listen to us on. And I thank you guys for listening. I'll see you back in July when the girls come back. The first one is amazing. Not amazing, amazing. Thank you guys. Hi you guys, and this is Brit with Rayshawn on the last episode of the Father's Edition for June. What time is it? It's late. Right?
Mm-hmm. It is late.
Oh, okay. You ready?
Well, I'm ready.
He's not paying attention, you guys. Anywho, so we're about to go ahead and kick off this last segment. We're pretty much just gonna talk about us and the family and your views about fatherhood. Get an update from you having Remy and stuff. And
you tell me what we're talking about.
I just did.
Oh, cool. Let's do it.
All right. So kicking it off, tell us about yourself for people who don't know you.
Me.
They might not have listened to the third episode that you were on, which was an hour and some change. This shit ain't gonna be that long, but okay.
It was the highest rated show that you did. So.
You wish. No, actually it wasn't, but go ahead.
I'm 36. I'm a father of 3 biological kids. Roman 13, Reagan 8, and Remington 8 months. And then I got 2 great bonus kids, Kaylin, which is 9, and Mason, which is 7. So, yeah, that's me, in a nutshell. I'm a professional, I'm a father, and I'm the...
I thought you was going to say professional hookah maker when you looked over there.
Okay, wait. Let me start over. So, I'm a father, I'm a professional, I am a lover of all things fun, and I am King Hookah. If you ever had any of my hookahs, then you already know. Coming to a bar near you or something.
Oh my gosh. Craziness. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and kick it off. So when it comes to co-parenting, especially with having older kids and with their schedules and everything, how do you make sure you stay on top of things, and what do you do as far as communication?
It's, to be honest, with my job that I have, and just everything that's just going on in my life, I think that having a great partner, which is you, just honestly, makes things a lot easier as far as like scheduling and trying to pick up the kids, or you understand that I gotta go to a work event on a Saturday sometime, or be in the office kind of late, or going super early. You're highly adjustable or adaptable to any given situation. So I couldn't be the father that I am, or the provider that I am, if I didn't have a great partner. So honestly, you just make everything easier. So thank you, I appreciate it.
You just trying to get some booty.
Yeah, but that's it. But no, but in all seriousness, no, but you just make things a lot easier. Like if because I do show enjoyment, or I do have enjoyment in dropping the kids off in the morning on my way to the office, or picking them up from after school, and of course, I take pride in coaching Mason's team. Is my first year coaching, but those are the things that I enjoy doing, especially I think it's important for the kids to see an active father in other lives, and especially I think that it's even more important for the bonus kids to see how active of a role that I am trying to play, although their dads are pretty active in their family, in their lives. So I just try to play my role, and I'm just glad that they accepted me in the manner in which they did. So
they had no choice.
No choice at all.
Yeah, we talked about that on my on the Astro Instagram page. That when it comes to dating, if your children don't accept your mate, would you still date them?
No. I mean, honestly, in my personal opinion, I'm not sure if I answer that. But if my children didn't accept you, I think it would just make it a lot harder for us to be together. Because one thing that's very important to me, it probably is the most important thing to me, is family. And being at the top of that pyramid is my kids. So my kids' happiness and their safety is my number one concern. And so the moment that I saw you with your kids and saw how you was raising them and how you interacted with them, you know, I knew that you were the right one to be around my kids. And they just kind of gravitated. I think it made it a lot easier seeing that you had kids around the same age bracket. So, I mean, the transition into a relationship, honestly, or into a family, into a blended family, was very seamless. You know, although our kids argue, it's not perfect. You know, I think that just comes with age. Because growing up, me and my brothers and my sisters always argue and always fight. So, just part of growing up.
I think you answered like 4 questions into one.
Oh.
I'm really not sure. How many drinks have you had?
No, just one.
Just one? Oh, okay. Nervous laugh.
Yeah.
Birmingham Rails. So what type of and I completely agree, it does matter on your partner when it comes to being able to. You cannot be smoking a hookah while we're doing the interview.
Sorry.
Because people can hear that. When it comes to, you know, co-parenting and everything, and I honestly feel like it's a give and take type of relationship that, you know, you got to know your boundaries, what things you are willing to kind of compromise on and which ones that you don't. So 3 things that I would say that are you know, some good advice as far as when it comes to co-parenting is make sure you keep communication open, correct?
You know, communication is always key. Sometimes
on both parties, with me and with the other parents.
Yeah, so sometimes it's not a two-way street. That's why I was about to say, you know, so sometimes I do my best in communicating. You know, I try to keep my weekends with my kids very consistent. Mm-hmm. Or if I have to do something, I try to just, you know, rearrange it, but I try to let them know in advance. But yeah, communication is a key. You know, and sometimes, again, it just doesn't work on both ends all the time. You know, there's some communications that I would hope would happen.
Like what?
As far as my son, you know, just when his games were and, like, when and where, you know, like, with sports, like, I kind of hear from him and not his mom, which is cool. You know, I mean, he's old enough to, like, tell me, but sometimes he doesn't know his schedule until his mom tells him, so. You know, just some of those things, which it's a work in progress. I mean, he's 13. I mean, I got, you know, a lifetime more to deal with his mom, you know, especially over important events that's happening in his life. I just, you know, would hope that we could work on communication now because, I mean, again, I'm a very active father in all of my kids' lives. You know, I take pride in that. No matter how busy that I am or, you know, what's going on in my life, I at least try to call my kids every single day just to see how the day is going and, you know, see how what would happen or, you know, just small talk. So I just try to keep it, you know, I definitely want them to understand that Daddy is always there. He's a phone call away, you know, and just kind of like try to be their friend, but still be their dad at the same time.
Understandable.
Okay.
No, I have something in my eyes, so that's all. I'm trying to make sure.
You want me to answer your question?
No, you're so stupid.
Oh, okay.
No, I just try to make sure. All right, so definitely communication. I will also say you kind of hit on this about consistency. Like that's my biggest thing is being consistent. And honestly, in everything, it's not even with co-parenting, it's more so with life. Because with the kids, kids need consistency in their lives. So when it comes to scheduling and picking up here and there and, all that stuff, it's really good for everybody who plays a part to know to be consistent.
I agree.
You agree?
I agree.
Yeah. And what would be your third thing that you would tell people when it comes to co-parenting?
When co-parenting there's a difference, when you're co-parenting with your own kids and then you're co-parenting with a blended family.
Yeah, with a blended
family.
Those
are two different aspects that, some people don't touch on or everybody just isn't a part of. But I think that the number 3 thing is always respect the other parent. It's always good in my eyes, in my perspective, for the kids to see that there is a good relationship between the fathers or between the mother. So, even just having some small talk with the other parent while you're dropping off or you're picking up. I think that it's just very important just to have that interaction. Or even when you're at games or things like that, you sit together as a family because really we are all one family, regardless if we're together or not, we are still family. And it's just important for that kid not to feel torn. After the game is over, does he go see his mom first or does he go see his dad first? Which one? And so it's just easier, I think, if the parents make it a priority to make that child feel that love from both parents at the same time, and that's something that I do pride myself in, even when Mace or Kaylin's dad, or Mace's dad comes to the games, we talk. I'm the coach. He's a parent, so we're going to talk.
Right.
Even when he drops off, it's a, hey, what's going on? How you doing? Or just small talks, about sports or something like that. It doesn't mean the conversation is really small talk, and it's probably doesn't mean a lot to me or to him, but it means the world, I feel, to that child.
Yeah, and I kind of agree. Honestly, I think it's easier for men to get along when it comes to the aspect of talking to the other parent. Honestly, I would thought that y'all was talking to each other just because y'all like talking to each other. I wouldn't think it was because of the child. But, I think they both enjoy it. But when it comes to women talking to each other, I think it's a little bit more harder for them versus a guy talking to the other guy who's pretty much dating their ex.
I think that we see it differently there because, I think, just because I talk to him doesn't mean that I like him or because he's my friend.
I don't say friend, but it's still an adult.
Definitely he's an adult. I can have a casual conversation with anybody. I have mastered the art of conversation.
Right.
And so I know how to have small talk even with anybody. I can have a small talk with the person that I meet in the post office, which I have recently, and then he ends up inviting me. Man, he owned some land down south. It was a white man, actually. It was a white older guy, and he owned some land down south. And
he's trying to pick his slaves.
Probably was trying to get me to get out farm. I don't know, but he definitely invited me to go shoot some pigeons. Not pigeons. Quail. Yeah, some quail. Yeah, so he owned a quail farm, and so he gave me his card, and he definitely invited me down. He let me know that the only thing I would have to do is just buy the quail.
Buy the quail?
Yeah.
The birds.
Mm-hmm. And then
where you buy quail from?
I don't know. He owns a farm, and so he was like, "Yeah." The next time that I go down there, but when he passed me his card, it had plantation on it. So right then I knew that I couldn't go. I know we're in the South, but you're not about to get me that easily. So I never called him. Yeah. So.
Oh my gosh. So recently, I don't know, I think I shared it with you, or you probably see it on your Facebook timeline with the guy, and I want to say that this actually happened in my hometown in Columbus, Georgia, but it's with the guy and his his mother's child when I guess they was at this drop off point, and she wants to actually put the child in the car, and he was like, "Nah, bro, you ain't getting in my car. Like, you ain't gonna. Why are you trying to be in my car? You're not gonna get in my car." And she was like, "It shouldn't be a big deal. Why I just can't put it in the car?" And he was like, "Yo, I just want my kid. Like, I'm not letting you get in the car." So if you was in that situation, what would you do?
So I saw the video, and they clearly had some history of the female acting up or destroying property. Because because clearly he was afraid of her getting in his car. Because either she wasn't going to get out, she was going to probably try to, prolong the visit. And really, I mean, the visitation guidelines doesn't say that she has to put the child in the car seat. It just states that if the child is of car seat age or size, then the picking up parent should have one. Mm-hmm. And as long as he had one, all she should have done was gave the child to the father. And I think that she still had some unrest, bitterness because they're not together. So she had some unresolved problems, I think, towards him. And in my opinion, I think the guy should have just left and not did all of that in front of the daughter.
Right.
And I would have just filed her in contempt of court. And if
so you want to just let her go ahead and put her in the car if you're not?
Apparently, I mean, if we have history of some violence, or I mean, he was trying to keep his distance. He wasn't yelling. She was saying, "Stop yelling at me! Stop yelling at me!" So she was trying to egg him on and cause a scene. And he's like, "I'm not yelling. I'm just talking. Are you not going to give me my daughter?" Right. And she said no. And then she put the child back in the car. It was just too much back and forth in front of the child. You don't do all of that in front of the kids. I would have just left, and then I would have filed her in contempt of court and brought her to court and let her answer to the judge as to why she did that. I would have showed the judge the videotape and all of that. I mean, I'm just...
And see, that was my thing, because they knew to videotape it.
Exactly. So they knew how she was, I'm sure.
Or it could have been the other way around. It could have been that they know how he was.
I doubt that he was the one that was doing the videotaping, so he knew that she was crazy. He knew that she always tries to pull something at these meetups. Let me come with someone and not by myself, because she could say anything.
Right.
So let me have somebody recording this pickup. And so I have proof so I can protect myself. I don't see anything in that video where he was wrong except where he didn't leave.
Okay. I can see that point. All right, so switching gears. So how important is it for you to have family and friends to get the kids? I know it's important to me. Shout out to Kiana. We should make her a godparent.
I feel that having that alone time with your mate is very important. I grew up in a household where my parents had friends. I mean, honestly, my dad was in the Army. Mm-hmm. And so we grew up around friends that had kids, and then, those friends became, their friends' kids became my friends, and then ultimately became my cousins, because they are my friends for a lifetime. And I still am friends with most of those kids that I grew up with, that I hung out with, that watched me when I was a kid, or that I grew up with playing with, because it's so important that, a kid has that interaction with different households, different family settings. As long as you trust that person, as long as you have a talk with that person and understand the do's and the don'ts. But I think that it ultimately boils down to just trust. And it's always important to have that person where you can rely on, just in case you can't get to the daycare or you can't get to the school, say, hey, I can't get there. Can you please pick them up? It's always important to have that one person. Right. And for people who don't have that person that's nearby, I feel sorry for them.
So what should they do? How do you build a community of trust, especially being in 2018?
Honestly, you have to get to know people. Like, I know, like, the Facebook groups is like huge and all of that stuff, and I met a lot of good friends through Facebook. But I also met a lot of friends outside of that too. And so, what do you do? I mean, it takes a village to raise a child. I mean, I believe that. And so, people who don't believe that, I think it's always those kids that end up doing something that they have no business doing, because they feel like nobody's watching them when the parents aren't there. But if you have consistent people in your lives that come over, just talk and just enjoy, it's not really all about partying and doing things like that. It's about growing, evolving, and growing and seeing each other's families grow. Supporting each other in the time of need, in the time of happiness. Going out to see each other kids play sports. It's just all about that. But that's the type of environment that I grew up in.
Right. No, I totally agree. I mean, I didn't grow up in that type of environment. I mean, I had friends growing up, but I mean, growing up in the 90s versus now was totally different. Like I was telling Kaylin, a lot, because of course, if you guys don't know, Kaylin, she'll be in the 5th grade this year, so she'll be going to middle school next year. And she, one of the things that she brought up to my attention was that she wants to know what's going to happen when she goes to middle school when it comes to her friends. And I had to explain to her, like, yo, I still know people from kindergarten. And that's not with social media. It makes it way easier for you guys, for people to keep in touch now because of social media. But, people move away, they come back. The world is smaller than what people really feel like it is. So you definitely, the people who you need to keep in touch with, you can definitely keep in touch with them.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. No, you just chilling. No.
Yeah.
Smoking hookah.
No.
You go ahead.
I'm chilling.
Yeah, I know. I see. I'm gonna give you a hookah break. Go ahead. Yeah, I'm good.
You good?
See, guys, this is what I have to deal with. This is, this might be your last time on the podcast.
Why?
Huh? Because you're multitasking while you're not.
No, I'm definitely involved in our conversation.
You are. You sure?
Very involved.
Okay. All right. So, topic number 3 that I wanted to cover is about relationships. So, how do you make sure that you keep your relationship fresh, happy? How often do we go out? Well, I know how often we go out on dates, but I want a male perspective on that, as far as how important it is for you to still be able to date the person that you're with.
I always believe that being friends, close friends, and ultimately, hopefully, best friends with the person who you're with is important. You should always respect each other's privacy, respect each other's space, and respect each other's time. With that being said, I do believe that it's important to still date and still have date nights, or still, have movie nights, and then alone time, going out with your friends, and still having that outside life outside of the family, because it makes you feel, to me, like a person still. Like, I want to talk to you and ask you how's your day. And then you can tell me what you and your friends did, or what y'all saw, or, tell me all these funny stories about whoever. I think that that's important for you to still keep those relationships and those friendships around, because when I'm not around, I don't want you home bored. Like, oh my God, well, what am I going to do?
Or opposite.
No, correct. And I'm just saying, like, this goes for both ways. It's always important just to still, like, have your friends, but have the friends around you that respect your relationships. Like, don't have the friends around you that when you're out that they're trying to go and see some dudes, or trying to hook you up with a dude, or like double date or some shit like that. I think it's always important for them to respect your relationship, because if your mate finds out that they don't respect your relationship, I think it will cause some issues.
And that's a good point, because you have friends that do their thing outside of their relationships. So how do you maintain that? Like, what do you do?
Well, I can't confirm or deny that. But if I did have friends that did their thing outside of their relationships, that's them. As long, I'm my own person. I don't succumb to peer pressure. So as long as, because I can still be out with them, and if they choose to talk to a chick, then they choose to talk to a chick. I'm not saying when I'm out I don't talk to anybody. I'm a sociable person. You know that. But I think there is a line of respect.
Correct.
And there's a line that you don't cross. And so even when we had kickbacks at the crib, you know how sociable I am. I talk to everybody, And so that's why most of the time, if not, probably 80% of the time that I go out, you're with me. Right. But no matter if you're with me or not, I still am the same person, whether you're there or not. And so I would prefer you be there, so while I'm being me and the sociable Rayshawn, then you can see it with your own eyes, or like people see that you're there. So I'm not trying to any underhanded things, because if you weren't there, they would say, "Oh my God, did you see Rayshawn talking to all them girls?" Or like everybody, but Rayshawn is just sociable. And I grew up, honestly, where it's hard for me to trust dudes. So my circle is small when it comes to guys. So most of my close male friends are people that I grew up with, people who are, my friends that have turned into my cousins, or people who, I've grown closer to over the years, but I just think for the most part, I'm comfortable talking to females. It just comes natural, my best friend,
Nothing.
My best friend of 18 years is a female, and so one of those things, more than 18 years, probably 20 years.
So you old.
And then although we don't talk as much as we once did, I still consider her like my best friend, because I know that anytime that I need her, I could just call her. And so her and I has never had any interactions as far as sexually or any inappropriate conversations. And so I do believe that man and female can be platonic friends because of the relationships that I have with.
And that's my next
females.
question I was going to ask. So you truly believe that a guy and a girl can just be friends only, or is it the fact that you tried it, it didn't work out, so now y'all can be friends? It's a difference.
No, so I totally believe that man and female, attractive man and attractive female can be platonic friends. I believe that just because two people are attractive that they can't be friends. That's crazy, but in today's society, people tend to talk about that. So if they see two attractive people that are close, they must be fucking. And so sometimes it may be true,
95% of the time it's normally true.
I don't want to say 95. That's a lot.
80.
Let's just say 75.
Okay.
Because I can be friends with pretty females. Doesn't mean that I'm trying to fuck them. Just honestly. I could be friends with big girls. Doesn't mean that I'm trying to fuck them.
But do you
honestly,
think that comes with a maturity level? Maybe if you were in your 20s, it would be a different story versus being in your 30s?
No, I just think that it's just society, man. If they see two attractive people talking, then they must be trying to get to know each other on another level. But if one attractive person and one big girl, or one attractive person and one ugly person are talking, then they're just cool, And but really, I think that society has formed their own opinion, and that's just truly sad, because I think that it puts a strain on certain types of relationships that could bond. Not saying that some dudes don't try to smash, because some dudes certainly will,
80% of them.
But I think that a girl is ultimately in control of that. Well, I think both parties. But if you put a person in the friend zone, you need to be able to keep them there. Because my best friend, she's attractive, very attractive.
Who is this best friend? I don't know her.
The kid called you. I know. I told you that we haven't been talking and I mean, consistently in a few years, you know. But I do miss her as my friend. I mean, you know, we just, you know, I think that if you haven't had a fight with your friend, your best friend, and y'all haven't stopped talking for a day or a few months, and y'all, and if y'all can't come back months later or a year later on the same page, then y'all truly weren't friends, you know. But if it's awkward or if it's different, for y'all to pick up where you left off from so many years of friendship, I think that it was a fabricated friendship. And I think that, I mean, her and I chatted earlier today. I mean, she asked me a question about like some furniture. And so it's just random things like that. Even when, before I bought a camera, I asked her because she takes pictures.
That was her. I didn't know that was her.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so, you know, just things like that, you always could, like, I mean, you know, I had to learn early, honestly, is that you can't use, like, all your friends can't be everything to you, right? So you have to, like, put your friends in buckets. So whether it's, you know, these are the friends that I call when it's time to go out. These are the friends that I call when I have a question about relationships. Hey, here's the friends that I call when I have a question about my career. Hey, here's a friend that I call a question about family. Just things like that. So you kind of put your friends in like buckets and like pockets, and you know, all your friends can't be everything to you. And I think that some friendships are messed up that way because, you know, us growing up, we'll say, well, you know, my friend should have been at my baby shower, or my friend should have been at my wedding, or my friend should have been at, you know, this funeral, or my friend should have came to my party. But are they really that type of friend, you know? Or,
but see, I don't think I would consider them a friend if they can't be that person for you.
Well, that's
especially
the thing.
when it comes to things like that.
So that's the thing, right? That's just not the purpose that they serve. And so they serve, like, you, again, that I go back to putting your friends in buckets. So you have to understand what friends are going to show up, because that's the bucket that they are in. And so if it's a party, I know what friends are called that's going to turn up. If it's a serious event like a book club or something, I know what friends that I know is interested in books and in reading. If it's traveling, I know which friends has the finances to go. So again, all friends can't be everything to you. You can't put all friends in the same bucket.
No, I definitely understand.
And that's why it's so important not to mix friends too, because then it's like certain friends are for this and certain friends are for that, and then you're trying to mix them, and it's like mixing oil and water. So when y'all are all together, you might have a turn up person that, you know, drinks and then gets drunk and then like turns up all the way, and then you have your friends that are like even truly your friends almost in every bucket, and it's like, whoa, wait a minute, I don't really get that turned up, like that's too much, you know. And so you got to be very careful when mixing friends.
So how do you feel about having friends as far as the same friends while you're in a relationship?
So I believe that it's okay. Again, I mean, there's boundaries still, right? But again, I grew up where my parents had the same friends, and so there wasn't a friend that my dad had that my mom didn't know about.
So do you feel like that's more so? See, I see that it can either go two ways. When you have the same friends, it could be more so a control thing. Like, yo, I know who you're hanging out with. That's your friend. They're my friend too, so I know you're not going to get into a mix. Or it can be like, oh, okay, we like these people together. They're a couple. You know, we're friends as a unit.
No, it's okay to have couple friends, and then it's okay for you to have single friends too. Like, just because you have a single girlfriend doesn't mean that she's going to be my friend. So if like she comes over the crib, or y'all going out, or I mean, you'll probably invite this person to like events, and you know, we'll get to know each other that way. But it doesn't mean that when y'all go out, I'm there. You know, I mean, again, that just goes about, you know, having your own life outside of like kind of like the family thing. You go out with this friend, and it's just, in my opinion, that's how it works. Everybody probably they don't agree, but that's the way I see it.
Interesting. So what if I had a guy friend outside of us?
What?
What? Nothing.
So, guy friends outside. Whoa. How does that work?
Nothing.
Whoa, no, hold on. Wait, no.
No, I'm asking.
What?
I mean, what if I had a friend who was a male outside of us?
No, I think that if it was
no, I wasn't finished. Because everybody says also a difference. If this guy was a friend prior to us getting together, then it would be a different story as versus me getting a new friend while we together that's a guy.
So, absolutely, I feel that if you had a guy friend prior to us getting together, there should be some type of introduction.
Okay.
Have creating a guy friend once we're together and I don't know him, nah.
But you will allow it though.
No.
Okay. So, all right, but so that's a double standard.
Why would I allow you meeting a new guy friend and I don't know him once we're together?
No, I'm saying if you meet a guy friend, like for instance, I'm at work and it's a guy from work and he knows that we're in a relationship and everything, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, you should meet, Ray Sean. We go have drinks. He meets you. You guys hit it off. Y'all are cool, but he's my friend.
Wait, we who go have drinks?
Me, you, and him.
Why would we do that?
Because you're a part of me, right? But if it got to a point where it could be more than a work friend, it could be more than outside of work, that he's a cool person and y'all meet, then it why not?
Wait, so your friend, your guy friend who you met at work, are y'all like talking on the phone, like outside of work, like y'all going places, like?
No, like for instance, traffic was messed up in Atlanta. Me and you, he was like, hey, you want to go and have drinks? I'm like, sure. I said, well, let me invite Ray Sean to come. You come too. We all sit there and have drinks. Or we can even put it on you. What if you had a female coworker and something happened or whatever, y'all out and you say, hey, Brittany's around the corner. She's about to come up. Y'all can meet and then we all have drinks.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's different if we're all there, but if it's a one-on-one interaction, I tried that before with the whole allowing the other work friend, and he's now the husband of my son's mom. So I think I'll pass on that.
But that goes back to show that from what you had said earlier, that some people can't be platonic friends.
No, I didn't say that. They can be platonic friends.
So,
but again, I believe in the manner in which you all met, right? And so I feel that if it's a male, I think like the male-female relationship is a weird one. It can be platonic, definitely. But it always has to be that respect factor also there too. Because you have to know, your eyes have to be wide open to understand if this man is coming on to you. Like the first joke or the first comment that he makes about your butt or your breasts or you got a pretty smile, like that, yeah.
Can't do it.
Like I have never, ever in my life commented on any one of my females friends' bodies who I say were just platonic. Never once have I said, girl, your ass looking fat in them jeans. Or girl, them breasts looking perky. Or damn, girl, girl, your smile just brightens, your smile just makes my day. Nah. So I think that it's up to the person, it's up to you, or it's up to me to understand that those type of comments. And so, a guy may laugh it off or a girl may laugh it off, but to me that's kind of crossing that line.
Okay, so at the end of the day, this is the question that was asked. With you saying that male and female can be platonic friends, if I met a person at work, I can't have them as a platonic friend because the fact that me and you are together, it wasn't prior to our relationship.
Are they single?
Yes, they're single.
Why didn't you as a friend?
See, that's what I don't understand. So it's a double standard.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No,
we're gonna table it. I mean, it's a double standard.
I don't think it's a double standard. I mean, I don't. So, but you're saying a platonic friend. Okay, yeah. So, platonic friend. Okay, cool. So, when we have events, you're inviting this person over?
Yeah.
Okay, and does he ever bring a date?
He could if he wanted to.
Right, but does he ever bring a date?
I mean, I'm not going. I don't know in the future.
Does he ever bring a date?
Yes, he will bring a date.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
But if he always comes to our events and he never has a date, nah.
But we have friends like that between each other. That's your friend.
Who?
That she's single and she never brings a date. She always comes. And I met her through you.
Who?
I'm not saying her name on the podcast.
Oh, on the podcast? I don't know what you're talking about then.
Okay.
But was she my friend prior to?
No.
But do we know of her messing with dudes?
Yes.
Okay then. So that doesn't matter then.
But she's still single.
But we know that she has people in her life that she just doesn't choose to bring in public. It's a big difference.
I don't think it's such a double standard.
Because most of the female friends that you met through me comes and probably just kicks it with us, sometimes just alone and just kicks it. Because we're just good people just to be around.
Right.
And so we come over, play some fades, listen to music, have some drinks. They just come over and just kick it. This is a good place to be. But if a person that is always around, and I mean, I'm a good judge of like character. So if I feel that there's something off, I will mention it. In my opinion.
I think people just know I'm crazy. That too. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they know that I'm crazy. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap things up because you are so over my time. So you ready to play the hot seat?
Hot seat. Let's do it.
I don't know what that was. Seriously, I thought I said no hookah during our thing.
Oh,
the
I thought it was
loud.
Intermission.
No, it's not an intermission.
Oh, sorry.
It's super loud. All right, here we go. So question number 1. Did you always want to do what you do now as far as your career?
No. Well, so no and yes, because I always wanted to try to help people, right? Mm-hmm. And so at first I wanted to be a social worker. No, first I wanted to be a podiatrist because I just love feet. Mm-hmm. But then I thought, like, damn, I love feet so much. I don't want to look at nasty feet because that won't turn me on anymore, And then so I wanted to be a social worker. And I was like, I just want to help my people. I just want to help people, just do better and, blah, blah. But then they don't pay that well. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, well, how else can I help people? Mm-hmm. And so that's by, helping them and providing them with an excellent candidate experience when they apply for a job. And so that's how I got into HR, and that's how I got into talent acquisition. Present people with a life-changing opportunity, with a career-changing opportunity, with an opportunity that some people will apply for a job and sometimes think like, I ain't gonna get called, and then I call them.
Okay, you really didn't answer my question.
Yes, I did.
I mean, you did, but you just gave a lot. It's a hot seat. It's fast questions.
Sorry.
It's okay. It just one offers. That's it.
Okay.
Just one. All right. Do you listen to any podcasts?
No.
You don't listen to any podcasts?
You want me to keep it short, right?
At least a compound sentence.
Hell no. But actually, yeah, I do listen to your podcast, and then I listen to Joe Budden's podcast, and then
he still has a podcast.
And then Angela, it's on my podcast list.
Okay. And who else?
Angela.
Lipstick.
Lip Service.
Lip Service. Yeah, I like her podcast too.
Pretty cool.
All right, what's the last book you read?
Man, I don't know the last book that I read, but the new book that I'm about to read is called The Humble Inquiry. And so it basically teaches you how to creatively suggest people to do something that you already want them to do. Mm-hmm. And so instead of you telling them to do it, you kind of inquire, like you suggestively ask them to do something. and it's a way to do that. And I just haven't cracked the book open yet, but I can't wait for it.
Finessing, man, finessing. All right, what's your hidden talent?
Oh man, my hidden talent. So I'm a grill master too, by the way. I'm a hookah king, but that's not hidden anymore. But my hidden talent, man, what's crazy is I have an incredible talent of making people feel comfortable. Whatever that is, just an incredible talent of just like making sure that people feels very welcome. I think it's my energy, honestly. But I'm not sure if that's a talent or what. But I mean, I'm not like I used to. Oh, actually, I do play I used to play the trumpet. And I used to play the guitar. So yeah, I kind of want to get back to that. So I do miss the trumpet.
God, that was the whole paragraph. All right,
God, dog it, man. I mean,
what's the last thing you Googled?
I
hope it wasn't nasty.
Pornhub.
It probably was. Pornhub, and then you went to the search engine and entered what?
Amateur sex.
Nice. Okay. All right. Last one. You ready for it?
I mean, yeah. I'm gonna give you a compound answer.
All right. What's your guilty pleasure?
I like to smell feet.
You do like to smell feet.
I like to smell feet. That's my guilty pleasure. So I mean, I don't want you to have. I mean, I don't want it to be funky. But definitely don't want them to be like fresh either. So it's kind of weird. But yeah, that's my guilty pleasure. I just like to like rub them and smell them. And, that's my guilty pleasure. All
right, Rashawn. Well, thank you so much for being a part of the platform. Thank you so much for allowing me to, well, not allowing me, but thank you for being supportive of the Bad and Bougie Moms. Is there anything you want to say to the people? How can they follow you? How can you be reached on social media?
Man, listen, man. Just follow me the way you follow me. And
how they gonna follow you then? I have your social handles.
My social handle is a Blueprint 1914 on Instagram. That's the only one that I do have. But this Bad and Bougie Moms podcast is taking off like a rocket, just honestly. So I'm just proud and happy just to be a part of it, just to be in the room with you on certain conversations. So I want to thank you for allowing me to be a guest on your show.
Oh, well, you always have a guest chair.
Definitely,
you have a permanent guest chair.
I am the co-producer of the show, but
when did this happen?
You don't see the credits.
Not on this.
You gotta give me credit.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. What's that about to the people?
Yo, people, check me out, Blueprint 1914. Check out all the episodes of The Bad and Bougie, because definitely it goes down, and sooner than later you'll see it on TV. Alright? Peace.
Alright, guys, thank you for listening to the Bad and Bougie Moms podcast show. However you listen to our show for today, please make sure that you like, you comment, and you also subscribe so we can get some kudos points, Also, if you'd like to follow us on social media, on Instagram, we are at BADANDBOUGIE Moms. On Twitter, I want to say we are at BBM Podcast, and on Facebook, we are at Bad and Bougie Moms as well. Also, if you would like to purchase a Bad and Bougie Moms t-shirt, you can always go to BritMarsh.com. That's BritMarsh.com. Again, thank you guys.